breaking news in the Jerry Sandusky trial. The jury has reached a verdict tonight.
That's right. The former Penn State assistant coach just arrived at the courthouse moments ago. Inez Ferre is at the BELLEFONTE courthouse and has all of the latest from Pennsylvania tonight. Inez, what can you tell us? It's like a big crowd has assembled out there in anticipation of this verdict.
Yeah, that's right, Stacy. John, a huge crowd has assembled around here, and throughout the day some people were coming in with lawn chairs. They were sitting out here just waiting for a verdict, and the jury deliberated for 20 hours and 57 minutes over a span of 2 days. And it's just I can't tell you what the anticipation is like for some of these people. I spoke to one woman who has been at this trial every single day, and she claims that she went to school with some of the alleged victims, and for her it was so important to be here. Now, the jury this morning reviewed 2 testimonies, including that of Mike McQuarrie, who had claimed that he had seen Sandusky in the shower, in one of the showers at Penn State with victim number 2. They also had asked to review some jury instructions and testimony related to victim number 8. Now, at the end of the day, 20 hours and 57 minutes of deliberations. We know that a verdict is in. We know that Jerry Sandusky and his wife Dottie have already arrived to the courthouse. John, Stacy?
Inez, I know that verdict is going to be out any time now. 20 hours is a long time to deliberate. Do they believe that's just because there were so many counts in this case?
Well, definitely there's 48 counts, and one of the things that took some time this morning was hearing those 2 testimonies again, reviewing those testimonies, and there was a little bit of role-playing involved with that, where the prosecutors and in fact the defense lawyer were actually reading out the parts of the testimony for the jurors. So that took a little over 2 hours, and some people weren't really sure when exactly this verdict. Nobody really knows when a verdict will come in, right, when a case like this happens. But 20 hours and 57 minutes, the verdict's in right now, and we're just waiting for when it will be read out. The judge has asked that the verdict be read in the court one by one. Each count will be read, and then after that happens, once the court has adjourned, that is when we will know. And right now it seems like there is something that's happening right now, and we're getting, it seems like we are receiving. Let's just see what's happening right here. It looks like okay, guilty on 45 of 48 counts. He is guilty on 45 of 48 counts. This is the verdict. Jerry Sandusky guilty on 45 of 48 counts. Bail is revoked. Bail is revoked. So he's guilty on 45 of 48 counts. The bail is revoked. That means that until he is sentenced, he will remain in custody. He has been remanded until he is sentenced. You heard the crowd behind me. You are receiving the breaking news right here.
Real quickly, we know that one of his adopted sons in a bombshell yesterday came out with a statement saying, we're talking about the adopted son, Inez, I saw you just put your earpiece back in. The adopted son who came out yesterday in a bombshell statement on Thursday and said that Sandusky, in essence, abused him as well. I know he wasn't allowed to testify in court, but what effect do you think that had on this? I know that jurors aren't supposed to have access to newspapers, so on and so forth, but what effect do you think it had on the case?
Well, that came out after the jury started deliberating, and the jury was sequestered. So technically, they were not allowed to have any communication electronically. They were not allowed to have any access to television, and so that information shouldn't have gotten to the jurors. Matt Sandusky, through his lawyer, had said that he was a victim of Jerry Sandusky. And one of the things that came out as far as this information is concerned is that if Jerry Sandusky had testified, that would have opened up the slot for prosecutors to bring in Matt Sandusky, Jerry Sandusky's adopted son, and that would have allowed them to put him on the stand and for him to say that he had been a victim of Jerry Sandusky. But the jurors, if they adhere to the sequestering orders, the jurors shouldn't have gotten that information while they were deliberating. Stacey, John?
All right, Inez Ferre, we thank you so much for joining us with that breaking news live from Pennsylvania this evening. Again, Jerry Sandusky guilty on 45 counts.